Amrinder Singh then a catch-22 situation. Karan, not sure whether he should celebrate or bemoan the fact that his party is being smashed, but he'd been hammered in the assembly elections, and that in a sense is vindication for the clout he still holds. Much more than Bajwa and the others who've now been given an opportunity. He's still proven who's king of Punjab.
There is one other reason why Amarinder could genuinely have a smile, even if he doesn't want to exhibit it too publicly. That is, he knew that he was being put into this job of taking on Jaitley, A, because Sonia wanted a tough fight, and he's proven to her that the Maharaja of Patiala can take on anyone, even if in the consequence he's ended up his wife losing Patiala. But more importantly, he's positioned himself to lead the Congress party in the assembly elections, where he believes there's an enormous anti-incumbency against the Badal family, and he hopes to garner it and come back and serve a second term as chief minister. Had he not won this election, had he not agreed to fight, he would not have been the lead for the Congress in the state assembly. Now he's guaranteed that 2 years down the road, whenever the state assembly elections happen, he will lead the Congress, and he hopes he'll come to power.
I want to take a look at the numbers for Punjab. Just take a look, because this is where the Aam Aadmi Party has made a big dent. Dr. Lairi, if you could explain these, please, because we have now firm leads on all 13. The BJP Akalis are at 6. They've picked only one. Clearly, unlike other places where there's a Modi wave in Punjab, there hasn't been a big Modi wave. In fact, the joker in the pack or the surprise debutant has been the Aam Aadmi Party. That's won on Sangrur Man's ticket and has got 3 seats. That's huge for the Aam Aadmi Party. And then you've got the Congress at 4, that's down 4. Dr. Lairi, your assessment of the Punjab numbers.
See, Punjab, two things are important. One, Punjab was ruled by an BJP ally, not a BJP state. So what we saw in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, those are BJP ruled states. This was an SAD, Shiromani Akali Dal ruled state. And there was an anti-incumbency factor. And as a result, what we are finding is that the BJP and its allies are not doing as well as it is doing in the Western Belt. Okay. And Aam Aadmi Party is doing far better in Punjab.
Because I have the vote share figures for Punjab. That's preliminary vote share data, which shows the BJP Akalis at 37%, the Congress at 37%, neck and neck between the BJP and the Congress, and others at 26%. Not all the others are Aam Aadmi Party, but essentially that suggests that the Aam Aadmi Party has made massive inroads into Punjab.
Two things. I wanted to come in after Karan, which is when he talked about Amarinder's campaign, if you listen to the campaign as I did, he spent very little time attacking Jaitley. He just dismissed Jaitley as an outsider. His attack was on the Badals, on Majithia. He was fighting it like a local Punjab election, and he was preparing, as Karan says, for the assembly election.
How did he pull it off? What happened to the Modi wave?
I think there was a very strong anti-Badal wave in Punjab, which neutralized. Well,
why didn't that show up in the assembly elections then? The assembly elections didn't happen long back.
It wasn't there then.
It's happened now.
It's happened in the past couple of
years. No, but there was anger against the Badals even during the assembly elections. Somehow they won despite that.
But
I can see there is that
built up much more in the past year or so.
And there's one other factor. If there had been no Aam Aadmi Party, my guess is
no, but Javed's friend Mr. Bajwa can say, I'm the one who scripted the turnaround of the Congress in Punjab. When Amrinder was in charge, nothing happened. The Akalis won. Rahul Gandhi has given me charge. I'm the one who's scripted this turnaround.
Actually, the one who can rightfully own up to this is Mr. Majita. He's the one who scripted turnaround.
He's been the secret weapon for the Congress.
That's the Badal's son-in-law.
That is
brother-in-law.
Sukhbir's brother-in-law.
Sukhbir's brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Sukhbir's brother-in-law.
Rahul, what's the
They're
name?
discussing Amrinder Singh as having been one among them. I mean, let's not forget that Mamta stands in the same league, Jayalalitha, Naveen Patnaik. At least, you know, these are...
If she were unhappy, she says, I've already denied that. That's not true. Why are you still running that story? But I don't know whether you missed that message, but there was a message in what she said. She said all decisions of the Bharatiya Janata Party should be taken by the BJP's Parliamentary Party Board. That's a potshot at the clique of Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, Arun Jaitley that's been taking decisions. Because remember, when Narendra Modi invited these senior leaders to Gandhinagar to meet him between the last day of polling and before counting, Sushma Swaraj wasn't in Gandhinagar. She's saying the BJP's parliamentary board should take decisions. Sudhanshu Mittal, the reality is the BJP's parliamentary board has been reduced to a virtual rubber stamping decisions that have already been taken.
No, Rahul.
This is all true.
I don't think you...
I want to see your denial because it's all true.
I don't think you are acquainted with reality.
Really?
That meeting was a very informal kind of a meeting between this thing and circumstantially...
No, but she's saying that the BJP's parliamentary board should take decisions.
She's right on that. Because if NDA has to be expanded. More people have to be brought in. All these things are decided by the parliamentary board, and that's rightly the forum.
सुधांशु जी, एक साधारण सवाल का मुझे उत्तर दीजिएगा. Was Sushma ji invited to Gandhinagar, or did Mr. Modi forget to invite
But this
her?
was no meeting which took place there. You have to understand there's supposed to be an informal.
Was she invited or not?
I mean, there is a question of invitations.
She was not invited there.
In fact, let me tell you one more thing. I'm not too sure who all were invited. This word
ये
invitation.
जो लोग गए थे, ये गेट क्रैश कर रहे थे.
That it all emitted out of
बिना
the
बुलाए
conversation.
पहुंच गए. सुषमा जी इज्जत करके नहीं गई.
नहीं किस लिए जाए भाई? मीटिंग हो तो जाएंगे ना. Some people have informal
Sudhanshu
discussions.
Mittal, you're as much in denial as the Congress is about its
I
defeat.
am not. You see, what is happening is we are seeing too much of meaning in a lot of things which don't have a meaning. I mean, let's be objective.
देखिए ये फोटोग्राफ बाहर नहीं आ सकता था.
सर मुझे
वो चार
थोड़ा
लोग
सा
जो
आपसे
बैठे थे,
ज्यादा पता है क्या हुआ है
गांधीनगर में जो परिस्थिति है,
इसलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूं
आज के दिन
आपको,
ऐसा
मैं
फोटोग्राफ
आपसे कह रहा हूं,
घर से फोन आई थी या नहीं?
आप is that relevant?
Arnab's show.
Is that relevant? The fact is, was this meeting a meeting of the core group? No.
नहीं
Okay.
You have-
फोन ग्रुप को छोड़िए. I'm asking a simple
Wait,
question. No, come back to my
कोई charge है
question.
नहीं?
Did Mr. Modi pick up the phone and say, "Bhen ji, I'd like you to come"?
ऐसा है Karan ji, you are
doesn't
being
call her.
blatantly unfair to the situation. If there is a meeting in which she is not invited, then you have a reason to say so. There was no meeting.
No, but those are
If
the meetings that are taking decisions, Sudhanshu
It
Mittal.
is not. That is what I'm trying to tell you. No, it is not.
Okay, we've
That's
got
not the-
Kamlesh Sutar in Vadodara, and I have a very interesting data point here. We have vote share percentages for Gujarat. 61%
Oh
of the
my God.
people of Gujarat
That's
have
amazing.
voted in favor of the BJP, at least from the data that we have available. Congress is down to 34. Remember, in Gujarat, it was almost close to 50, with a couple of points here and there determining who wins in a particular election. One of the big backers of Modi in the Sangh Parivar, there were detractors who felt he would become too big, too powerful, difficult to deal with. Ram Madhav, Suresh Soni, Bhayaji Joshi are those who continue to back Narendra Modi.
Mr. Mittal, can I ask you another sadharan simple question?
Ji, most welcome.
Who's more important, the Prime Minister of India or the Sangh Sanchalak of the RSS?
For a Swam Sevak, the Sar Sanchalak, surely. For the nation, the Prime Minister, surely.
But in the capacity of being a sevak of the RSS, will Mr. Modi bow to Mr. Mohan Bhagwat,
Absolutely.
or Mr. Mohan Bhagwat go to Racecourse Road?
When Mr. Modi dons the attire of a Swam Sevak, he'll certainly bow before the Sar Sanchalak, because we have a Sar Sanchalak.
No, but Karan's
now.
asking a very important question.
Yeah.
Vajpayee used to go to Nagpur most often, or to Jhandewala, where the Delhi headquarters of the RSS is. Will Mohan Bhagwat come to 7RCR, or will
Said this
Modi?
information is not correct.
For most parts.
No, that's not correct. I know it.
So you are saying
I know
that
it.
Mohan Bhagwat will henceforth come to 7
There's no protocol per se defined on informal consultations.
No, but
Please.
you're suggesting something very important, that now that he's about to become Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister will not be going to Jhandewala.
I have not even
If there is to
remotely
be a
said it.
meeting, Mr. Bhagwat will come
I
to
have
Racecourse
not even
Road.
remotely said it. As I said, when he dons the attire of the Swam Sevak, he's going to bow to the Sar Sanchalak. Obviously, that's
Okay,
the
my
protocol.
colleague Kamlesh Sutar is in Vadodara. He's got jubilant BJP cadre who are out on the streets dancing and celebrating. Let's catch the mood in Vadodara, the seat that Narendra Modi is going to be giving up. Till 2 p.m. No, because what they're saying is,
as the news of Narendra Modi's victory from Vadodara came out, BJP workers from Vadodara have erupted into large-scale celebrations. Outside the counting center, these are the pictures of celebration. BJP workers have started an impromptu Garba round. Women walk here, enjoying themselves a lot. Crackers are being busted. We speak to a couple of Narendra Modi supporters. What are the celebrations all about? How happy are you?
We are very happy and very excited. It is India's good luck and Modi is here now.
Do you want to see Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister?
Yes. That be our dream come true.
How long are you going to celebrate?
Up to evening.
Narendra Modi is expected to reach Vadodara by afternoon. He'll be addressing a public rally, and the celebrations that have begun, it seems that the party on the streets of Vadodara is going to go on till late in the night. With camera person Raju Revankar, Kamlesh Sutar in Vadodara for Headlines Today.